Hello and most welcome to the crash course of psycholinguistics. So far, we have discussed a lot about psycholinguistics. In this video, we will discuss about what language production is, what are the stages of language production. We will discuss language production in terms of linguistics and also in terms of psycholinguistics, and we will also discuss language production as a bottom up processing and also as a top down processing. Okay, so without wasting any further time, let's start our discussion. Language production refers to the cognitive and physical process involved in generating and uttering a linguistic message. Actually, language production is all about the utterance of speech and the articulation of language. Language production includes the mental representation of intended meaning, the selection of appropriate lexical items, the arrangement of those items according to grammatical rules, and the execution of motor movements necessary to produce the speech or written output. Language production is a complex and dynamic process that occurs rapidly and fluently in most individuals. Okay, Broca's area in the brain is responsible for speech production. The Broca's area is located in the posterior part of the frontal lobe of the left hemisphere, usually in the left inferior frontal gyrus. IFG, and is responsible for translating thoughts into words and organizing the grammatical structure of language. Damage to the Broca's area can result in Broca's aphasia, which is characterized by difficulty in speaking, effortful speech production, and limited vocabulary. Okay, language production is a complex process that involves several stages from conceptualization to articulation. Okay, the first stage in language production is conceptualization. The meaning is conceptualized that the speaker wants to convey. The second stage is lexicalization. Appropriate words are selected from the mental lexicon, the mental dictionary of words, the mental vocabulary of words. The third step is grammatical encoding. Morphology and syntax is involved in grammatical encoding. Grammatical encoding involves choosing the correct grammatical structures and selecting the proper inflections such as verb, tense, agreement, and case. This step involves both morphology and syntax. The fourth step is phonological encoding. Okay, the next step is to create a phonological representation of the message, which involves mapping the words and grammatical structures onto their corresponding sound patterns. This process allows the speaker to prepare the the precise sequence of sounds that they will produce. Okay, the fifth and the last one is articulation. The final stage of language production is the actual production of the speech sounds or written output. This stage involves the motor and sensory processes responsible for producing the sounds, including the movements of the lips, tongue, jaw, and vocal cords. Okay, it is important to note that these stages of language production occur rapidly and simultaneously, with each stage affecting the subsequent stages. The process involves a complex interplay between cognitive and linguistic processes, and successful language production depends on the efficient coordination of these processes. Okay, now let's discuss language production as a bottom up processing. Okay, what is bottom up processing? Bottom-up processing refers to the processing of information from the most basic components of the stimulus to form a whole perception. Okay, primarily language production is a bottom-up processing, but actually it involves both bottom-up and top-down processing. For example, language production is a bottom-up processing, involves conceptualization of meaning, lexicalization, the selection of words, grammaticalization, the arranging of words into grammatically correct sentences, and then articulating and producing sentences or uttering the language. Okay, here you see on the screen language production is a bottom-up processing. At the bottom is conceptualization of meaning. Then next is lexical selection, the selection of words, and then there is grammatical encoding. Then at the end we will have the actual articulation of language. Okay, now let's see language production as a top-down processing. Top-down processing refers to the processing of sensory information based on pre-existing knowledge, experience, and expectations. And language production, top-down processing involves using the speaker's knowledge of the topic, audience, and context to guide the selection of words, grammatical structures, and phonological features. For example, a speaker may use top-down processing to select vocabulary appropriate for the audience, modify grammatical structures to emphasize a relevant point, or adjust intonation to convey a specific emotion. Thanks for watching the video and please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Take care. See you next time.